something you're going to edit later, or?
A little bit.
Not if we're lucky.
There'll be some editing.
The intro.
I mean, this part here that was not part of the video might end up being part of the video, knowing him.
Well, that's what happened with the other video.
It's what happened with the other video.
Like this could make it in there. You just never know.
Just never know.
If it's entertaining,
I mean, if Bill keeps singing show tunes, then.
That was actually pretty good. I mean, jazz hands.
hey, the camera's on.
I know. Well, that's,
Yeah, I know.
we know, but we don't know.
It
But we
started
know.
already.
I know. Okay.
Well,
so-
know and care are not necessarily the same
We're
thing.
supposed to be looking at the camera?
Or look at that camera.
Yeah, there's no one back there to make you chase the red light, but okay, look at the red light.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
it.
the camera you look at right there. That one.
So are we ready?
we're ready.
All right, you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm just going to intro
Kip's
the
gonna
show like normal,
Ask
and
that
then we'll.
question all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I never know what I'm.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of know what I'm doing.
Kip's going to make us stay late. That's like
90
normal.
minutes. 90.
He's got to
Well,
work out. He's going to
it
just get
doesn't-
up and walk out. He will.
We know it extends that far. It doesn't mean that's where it stops. It just means
Yeah.
the show will at least be
Get on with it. They're
Let's
waiting.
roll.
We'll make
Wait.
it 90 minutes ish.
They're waiting.
We'll
That's
rename it
easy,
ish.
so-
The ish.
This is how it goes every night, folks.
You people keep watching.
We don't
We're going
know
to keep
why.
talking.
Suckers.
True. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it for real. You ready?
Yeah, this was for real. We're rolling, buddy. You've already made the cut. It's happening.
Whatever you need.
It's
Let's do
happening.
it.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Tuesday night, 7:30 Central Time. Welcome to Kicker Unmasked Live Weekly. A little bit of a different view here tonight. We got everyone out on stage. We thought, actually Ernie thought, and I think the rest of us just thought it was a great idea, and then JW caved. So actually the show we're getting ready to shoot tonight, which will be live. This is December 21st. High Five Vegas coming in for tonight's show. And then after tonight's show, we're all out of here. We have decided we're going to take the opportunity to go home and spend the Christmas or Hanukkah, as I got to give shout out to. You've already been experiencing Hanukkah.
I've experienced the sharting on them out of Hanukkah.
You've been sharting on them all over on Hanukkah. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Feliz Navidad, or whatever other way you want to celebrate the Christmas holiday season. We're going to take it off. All of us are going to go enjoy it with family and friends. And then we're going to skip through New Year's. We're going to enjoy New Year's with our family and friends. And I know my plan is to be back in not until the show on the 4th.
Yeah. 4th. Yeah.
Yep.
So what we're recording right now, this is the show that we're going to put in the can and let roll live for you guys on December 28th. So even though we're not having a live show on the 28th, we are recording a live version of it to play on the 28th.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, we talked about it and thought it might be really cool for all of us to get out here in front of the camera. Maybe each of us give a little bit of our thoughts, what we thought of the last year. I mean, we actually crossed the 1 year mark on Unmasked Live Weekly. That would have been November, the first show in November, I think? Second
About
notion?
right. Cool.
So we've actually gone through a year's worth of shows, but obviously with Christmas and New Year's, it kind of feels like a refreshing thing,
Yep.
and so we thought we'd refresh.
They're already scrolling at this point. They don't even care
They don't
anymore.
care.
They're not watching anymore.
All right, see y'all later. So the original Unmasked show that we put on for you guys, which is a little over a year ago, there was 30 of us in this room.
Right
Yeah,
about.
almost,
Yeah.
Might even be a little bit more. I mean, if we count the people out in the hallway and everything, it's 35,
Yeah.
36.
Yeah. That's my fault.
Yeah, thanks, Ernie. It's okay, but the original show, there was a lot of work that went into that, and there were a lot of stations. And so when we got this harebrained idea to do this every Tuesday night, which looking at our numbers, you guys must appreciate because it just keeps getting bigger and better. This small team here got together, and we've learned a lot over the last year. I think we're still learning a lot as we go through this, but we've kind of molded into our roles. Ernie likes pushing buttons and running the switcher back there. He just likes embarrassing people, I think, really, because that's what he does to me and anyone else that comes on. Yeah, you enjoy it. And of course, JW, he's actually in charge of events. So this is actually JW's event. So I think he comes along just because he's afraid of what we'll do next.
He's the whip.
He's the whip.
He's the whip.
Someone's got to keep you in line.
Yeah, you have to. So of course, JW, and then everyone knows our favorite fill-in is Sandy. And Sandy is also part of the events and marketing department. She does a fantastic job. It's not the only thing she does, so I don't want to make that her only role. But Sandy's also in charge of our POP. So when it comes to any of the koozies, hats, shirts, jackets, any of that stuff that you guys see out there at Kicker branded. Sandy has a talent for that, and she does a fantastic job. And of course, we love having her on the show to help fill in whenever JW or Bill or any of us have to step out. So even though she's not here in the studio with us every show, she's definitely with us here every show in spirit, and she's here when we need her to actually do something.
Yep.
So Sandy at the end. And then, of course, as always, the guy you never see at all is Tim, which is where he likes to be, which is behind camera. Ernie and Tim, they almost have like an osmotic relationship. I mean, whatever Ernie wants, Tim just seems to make it happen, even before Ernie asks for it.
It's true.
He does a fantastic job. So, Tim, thank you for at least getting in front of the camera tonight.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
And as always, the man, the myth, the legend, someday we will get him back in his Bill Frog suit. Maybe.
He just wants more zeros.
He wants more zeros
I keep
before
telling him
he'll
to be
do
on
it.
the left side, not the right side.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hold my breath on that
it's just
one.
a decimal point problem.
Right.
We want to move it this
Right.
direction. He wants it the other. Is Mr. Bill Brown himself. He's in charge of social media, so he's here just about every show other than 2 weeks ago. You were on vacation. Took some time off to go visit family. And so we're all here in front of the camera tonight. And of course, me, Kip, I'm here, and I drew the short straw, so I'm the guy that tries to get in front of the camera and just keep it rolling for 90 minutes-ish.
Heavy on the ish.
Heavy on the ish.
Heavy on the
Heavy on the
We had a
ish on
90-minute
some shows, but
The air quotes.
air quotes.
Yeah. that
So, I've introduced everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my left and start with the prettiest face in the room, which would be Sandy. So Sandy, if you had to
First
look
one.
back over the last year, how you've participated in Unmasked on many levels, what's a high point for you? What do you think was the fun part for you, or what you thought was interesting that we did for the people who watch?
We have done so many different subjects that it's really hard to narrow it down. I mean, one of my all-time favorites is when we bring in all of the new promo items and do big giveaways. I like showing that stuff off. And
Which we'll be doing another one of those here first of the year pretty quick.
First of the year, yeah. Everything's ordered. 90% of our promo is going to be new product. So we're going to have a lot to show off.
And just a side question tying to that, in this, as I call the dumpster file of logistics and manufacturing, I'm assuming you're experiencing the same thing in even promo items. Sometimes those are hard to get in.
Very much so. I did work a lot closer with the vendors and checking inventory before we move forward with some of the things so hopefully we'll have a little bit better chance of getting it in a more timely manner.
So when do you think we'll have you on for a show to show the new stuff? Because you did the one, and you were actually not wanting to do that, and
I was not.
You did great.
Thank you.
She did.
No,
And
seriously.
I don't want to do it again, but
She's gonna
he
do
made me promise. I asked him to do the promo show, and he said he would as long as I got on with him. So it is what it is.
As nervous as she does get, I mean, all of us do a little bit get nervous trying to do this in front of a camera, I think. But I will say this: Sandy does a fantastic job, and I got to give her props to that. And I want her back on the show. And so, new stuff. You're saying first of the year, so February,
Probably
January?
late January,
Late January?
mid to late January. I would assume the majority of it will be coming in.
Okay.
I can, I would say February. We should have something of everything.
So stay tuned for that. When we got the new promo in, we will actually have Sandy bring it down. Maybe some of us can model it for you like we did before.
Yes,
I know I got a
absolutely.
chance to wear a shirt. But Sandy does a fantastic job at that, and she is an integral part of this team. Even though you don't see her in the studio every week or even on camera, behind the scenes, keeping track of making sure all of us give her the information she needs and getting the prizes out to you guys and keeping track of all that information. Because even to this day, to right now, we still have winners who have not gotten their original prizes from the original Unmasked. And trust me, it's just the dumpster file that we call manufacturing logistics that's been this past year. But Sandy keeps track of all of that. And when that product becomes available, she makes sure it goes out. And I think we're just down to was it 1 or 2 items?
KXM 905.
Hey, shout out to Robert Van Hoy. We got your amp sometime soon. And
And then, of course, the L7X.
of course, L7X. So anything else you'd like to add? Or
My mom watched an episode of the show, maybe the night that I was on. And afterwards, I said, well, what did you think? And she said, man, that Kip guy can talk.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I know there's a compliment in there somewhere, and I will find it later in my Zen's
That's called
place.
a craplement.
Yeah, that's a sharting on them, man.
Speak your truth, Sandy's mom. Speak your truth.
I get it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, I'm not cutting you off at all. Feel free to chime in anytime in this conversation. But moving on down the line there, let's move on to the man, the myth, the legend, the man who can. Come on, give him your look. Give him the patented look. That's the one.
It is patented.
JW, you're in charge of this circus that happens every Tuesday night. Looking back, what do you think?
Past year, it's been awesome. Really enjoy what we're bringing to you guys. Personally, I love all the hands-on stuff we do with testing. I know you guys like it too. I sit there and read all the comments, all the questions that we get from those shows, but I really enjoyed the one with the Fab Tools episode that we brought in on Brian and Mark, just because that's stuff that I love doing myself. And I don't know, it was a little bit, that was one of the first ones we had stepped out from really pushing our product,
right,
and showed some other tools what it takes to do some of the stuff that we do. And I don't know, to me that was super cool.
I know it was a cool show because as we were doing that show with Brian and Mark coming on and went through all that, he was lost in watching how everything was done.
Oh, yeah.
And not doing his job. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
but you were,
I kept forgetting to switch back and forth between who was talking because I was focused on what they were talking about and demonstrating.
True. And at the same time, while you're doing that, I can't see. I mean, I knew it happened, but you're back there.
Oh, yeah.
But I got Tim, who's in front of me, and Tim's over there and he's
drooling.
like, "Hey, what's that code?" He's shopping right behind the camera on his phone while it's happening. Those things that were showed, he was actually buying as we're doing it. So
yeah, I quickly ordered 2 new routers for the shop and a handful of other items.
So I agree, that was a fantastic show, and hopefully you guys out there appreciate. Yeah, this is Kicker Unmasked Live Weekly, but if you go back and take the time to watch all those different episodes, we're bringing in guests from across the industry spectrum. We're trying to do demos that, we want to show you how well Kicker products built, but this is information that you can use to judge or gauge anything that you're looking at buying. So even though it's a Kicker show, we try to really broaden it out and let you guys get some factual information. I think that's going to be the challenge for us going forward next year. I know you guys want to see more of those type of demos. I think we'll end up doing even some of those other demos with the same ones we've already done, but doing with new products. And I've got my mind turned, and I've got a few I think we want to cover next year. You guys are really interested, you like to know what's the power equivalent amplifier. You like talking tuning on boxes. And of course, we take our fair share of ribbing with the below 40 hertz thing.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do some demos next year to show you that, not only do all the speakers we have play well below 40 hertz, but really what you're talking about is how much of that below 40 hertz do you want? And that gets into discussion, obviously the difference between, an L7Q and what's going to be the new L7X coming out next year. So there's going to be some really cool demos coming up. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And honestly, if you have feedback, throw that into the feed going to Bill. That's social@kicker.com. That's the email address. We want to know what you guys want out of the show.
Give us some ideas.
Please.
You guys, what you guys want to see, let us know. It'll help us out a lot.
Absolutely. And anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Open mic. Do whatever you want, man.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Don't fire us right here, right now.
Try not to.
So that brings us to Ernie. And Ernie and I, the original Unmasked, he and I spent a lot of time talking back and forth with each other, planning and plotting this whole thing out. And I'm not afraid to admit, and it's probably not as much today as it was. I mean, maybe we've turned the pressure down a little bit, but you and I were drinking from fire hoses.
That's a fact. We didn't know what we were doing, kid.
No, we really didn't have
I certainly didn't know what I was doing.
I still don't know.
That's why I brought in backup. I had Bart Deal help me back there so I could keep my act together. So
for you from that original Unmasked, and I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, and I want you to answer it. There was a time in our company where when it came to doing presentation and everything, it was always, let's put it in the can. Let's put it in the can. So we wanted to record it. We wanted to edit the living crap out of it, get it to where it was spit shiny, polished, and look like we wanted it to be, and then output that. And that's really what the plan was in the beginning to the original Unmasked. And through a little bit of coercion, I don't mean that in a negative way.
No.
We decided, let's do this live. And what's crazy about it is the guy, and Ernie and I share a lot of traits, and I don't mean that in a bad way. We're very right-angled. We share the same month for birthdays, and there's a lot of those personality traits that come through. But Ernie's gone from, no, I want to record it and put it in the can and do this, to now, when we're approached to do things, whether it's here in the studio or, like our Kicker Tech Force or anyone, Ernie's the first guy to go, man, let's just shoot it. Man, we do this every Tuesday night. Let's just shoot it live. I don't know. I don't want to do it in the can. Let's just do this live. And it's that confidence level that you and I both, but more importantly you, because you're back there trying to make this happen, is we've gone from a nervous Nelly not knowing what we're doing to you're comfortable with this.
Yeah, I mean, we do it every Tuesday night, and Tuesday, yeah, and it, you get some confidence doing that. And I'll just tell you the story quickly. Jeremy, I guess it was August last year, we had a meeting, and it was our manager's meeting, and after the meeting, I could tell Jeremy was a little uptight because he was told that SEMA had been canceled. We were told in that meeting, and so I called him, and I said, hey, let's talk about this. And so we had it all figured out. That meeting between Jeremy and I figured it all out, had it all ready to go.
So we thought.
Yeah. So I got off the phone with Jeremy, and I waited a day, and then I called this guy because I knew that he was going to have to be part of it. I knew he was going to have to be part of figuring what we're going to have to do out. So I call Kip, and Kip listens, and I spill it all out, 15, 20 minutes, and he's just quiet, he listens. And then he comes at me with his idea. And when Kip goes to sell something, to say that he drives it in the ground would be the understatement of a lifetime. He hammers it home, and finally I was like, I got it, I'm sold. And his idea was to do it live. I thought he was crazy at first, but he sold me on the idea. And I was like, Kip, sold. Can you put it on paper? Kip has it on paper within a couple of days, and then the rest is history. So it was really his idea, and to do this live, and I felt that we could do it if we had the right team, which we brought in 30 people for. That's where this guy came from. I think Jeremy, we had a guy go down, and Jeremy mentioned Tim wanted to run camera, and so I'm like, bring him in. I've got guys that I work with, on cameras, and that have a lot of experience, and this guy's never operated a camera that I know of. Next thing I know, this guy's a natural-born camera operator. Tim is amazing, truly reads my mind. I don't have to tell him much. He's on it, and it's funny because that's a really cool thing to have happen when you're trying to, produce a show, to have the guy that's running cameras to know what you're going to say next, and he's just got a natural eye for it. So anyway, that's how it all kind of came to be, and I'm glad we did. And then I think after we got done doing the first show, if I'm not mistaken, within a week, Kip's like, man, we got to do this weekly. I'm like, you're crazy. You're crazy. And then I think another week later, we talked to the boss.
We did.
Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. So we spit a show out the next day. I don't think they thought we meant it.
You say that. I'm not trying to take away, but we presented it. Everyone, they all did this.
Yeah.
They all said, yeah, sounds like a great idea and everything. And then so it was like the next day or the day after.
Or that night, I don't remember.
Yeah, we went ahead and rolled out a show. And then so the day after the show, that morning, everyone who was in the meeting shaking their heads, they were all like, whoa, wait, what are you guys doing?
That's what you're going to do? No, that's not what we're going to do.
And, it's, and now I'm not trying to throw any of them under the bus, but, they all agreed. But then when they saw what we did, and what we let them know is that, okay, that first show is a dry kickoff. These are the people going to run it. It was kind of an introduction of the people is what I would call it.
Yeah.
And then, I would say probably when we got through I'm going to say 3 months. Once we got through 3 months of shows, I feel like we hit our stride.
Yeah, I think we got comfortable. It takes a while. I was worried about messing up all the time. I don't worry about that anymore because I'm going to mess up, and you guys don't seem to care. And
we all mess up.
Yeah. I think that you guys don't know the fun we have making these teasers. I mean, it's truly, we actually think about these things, and we have a blast in here and laugh.
The teaser for this show, there's some good ideas floating around here.
Yeah.
We will shoot the teaser for this episode probably tonight.
Today or tonight, depending on,
And we all enjoy thinking about what the teaser is going to be. So even though it's only 60 seconds long, ish, because this next one might be ish.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Bill's like, you see Bill's, I wanted 60 seconds.
Give me 60.
He's the guy, you know. So
But it's fun. You're right, Ernie. I look forward to the teaser too. I think it's fun.
it's a lot of fun. You guys also don't know that every one of these people on this team come in here, and I'm not going to get all emotional, but it truly is an honor to work with these people. They come in here every Tuesday, and nobody gripes about it. They eat their dinner. We have fun. Sandy gives me a hard time if I don't have music going. It's just a top-notch group of people, and they're friends, and we love doing it. And thanks to all of you.
Yeah.
Truly.
Thanks, Ern.
All right.
You suck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I told you. Your turn.
Not my turn. I'm going to skip me because I'm going to go on down the highway here and stop at the the KOA campground of life here. I mean, it's the
my
truth,
God.
because you never know what you're going to get when you stop at a KOA campground.
No, you don't.
Other than the
You
name, you don't know. So just like Clark Griswold in the Family Truckster, I'm going to pull over and I'm going to let Mr. Bill Brown, and he is a vital part of this team. You know, he is on a day-to-day job. He does a lot of our analytics here through Google and YouTube and other things, and he is the social guy. So whenever you get, well, I shouldn't say that. Let me back up a second. Most of the time when you get a response from Kicker, so if you're on any of our social and it says Kicker, it's actually Mr. Bill Brown answering that. Unless I've had one too many adult beverages and I'm up at 2 a.m., then occasionally I'll answer some stuff too.
That's right. Luckily, you're the only person on all of social media up at 2 a.m. after a few adult beverages.
Texting us. We get these
other-
texts in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, if it's good, I got to share it. I got to share it now. I can't wait.
Why should you?
But
Nothing's stopping you, right?
nothing stopped me at all.
Nothing's stopping anybody. on
Mister
social
texts me
media
at
from-
4:48 in the morning. Yeah. So I'm
I
up.
was up. I figured you were up. If I'm up, you're up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I got to give shout out to Bill because, you know, he's in that social feed. He's trying to get comments to pop up. He's trying to answer questions in the text. And yeah, guys, we do have a certain level of the atmosphere that we want to keep in the chat feed. The show's the show. The chat feed is for you guys. That's you guys talking back and forth and trolling each other and having a good time. But there are some lines that unfortunately Bill has to monitor because we want to keep a certain atmosphere in that room for us, for the company, and for the owner of the company. And hopefully, if any of you have been slapped on the hand, you can appreciate, because there are people who've been slapped and you keep coming back. So apparently it wasn't too painful, Bill. You need to put some more holes in the
all
paddle.
rigged.
It's all rigged.
It's all
anyway.
rigged.
It is rigged.
So tell us, last year, being involved in this, what's your thoughts?
I like how much we share the spotlight. I always have. My favorite episode to date was when we brought MB on. The Science of Wire one was also fantastic. The Amp Dinos were a lot of fun, only because we were able to answer your questions. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing I'm ever going to care about is, are we answering the questions that people have? It's one of the biggest things that I wish more of our competitors would pay more attention to is the voice of the general public, because if we don't learn anything, we've lost a golden opportunity. And everybody in almost every department gains just a little bit of wisdom every show from the comments that you guys did. There's no way in the world you can't say that. And on top of that, we get to highlight the talents of so many other people that care about this industry. MB one, of course, Brian's another. I mean, of course, you know, Steve Barber, no doubt.
I mean, if we were to go down the list, everyone's been on the show. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember him, but you know, you got Steve Barber, you got Steve Mead, we got Brian, we got Mark from Car Audio Fab, we've got Drew Jones from Bassaholics, we've got oh man, there's no way I can remember them all.
Yeah.
Corey.
I still want to get
Corey.
T-Fade on. I'd love to get Taylor on.
Well, you know, Taylor, I think he'd be open to that.
He might be. I hope so. Hit us up, man. But yeah, our ability to give talented, caring, passionate people a megaphone to let them show what it is they care about and why to the rest of the world, to me, that's our biggest advantage. It's not chest pounding and look at this cool Solo X. It's cool anyway. It's going to come out and it's going to scare people, and I'm thrilled to see that happen. But
I want 15s for my home theater so bad.
yes. The answer is yes. That's what I care the most about. That's I've been in car stereo for about 30 years, since I was basically hatched, and I've never not loved what this company is about. There, sure, other companies I like quite a bit, but the ability to share and the ability to give information and learn in the process, to me, that's the biggest win that comes out of this show, and quite frankly, out of this company. And the more we do it, the more I believe it.
Two things I'll add on to that for Bill. The first one is, it's not uncommon for us on a typical show to get somewhere in the ballpark of 1,200 to 1,600 comments per show.
It's about right.
And so the thing I would ask is that we love your interaction. We can't pull every single comment out and put it on the screen, and certainly Bill can't reply to every single comment, but we try to answer those questions. Like if you have legit questions about box design, or I got a problem with my system, or I'm designing a new system, we continually share that number, reach out to us, and reach to our tech support department, because they've got all the tools at their disposal to help you with those. I wish we could answer every single question live on the show. We'll never be able to do that. But don't think because we don't pull you out or Bill doesn't see your comment that it's not important, because it's just there. I mean, there are sometimes I'm watching the show and I'm looking at the screen and they're just rolling. I can't stop and watch them. There's so many comments. But keep that in mind when you're doing that. If you've got great stuff you want to add, I encourage you, please reach out to social@kicker.com, which is his direct inbox, to get that. We want to know that information, and then. And Bill will be here. As long as we keep having something to eat on Tuesday nights, Bill will be here. I promise you. There's nothing he likes better than a free meal.
Well, there's several things I like better than a free meal.
Bill will have
free
second
system.
lunch.
A free system would be nice. But
There's a running joke. We won't talk about it tonight. We'll save it. But the joke with Bill is second lunch, and we'll leave it at that, because there is a story to that, and we'll share that on a future show because it's hilarious. So, anything else to add, Bill?
I think that covers it well. I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff we're going to come up with, some of the shows we're going to cover.
Bill's got a lot of great ideas that he's already fed into the pipeline. Bill contributes a lot to what we decide to do on this show. So, and I know he gleans that from what you guys put into the chat feed and through the social media, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. So don't stop talking to us. That's what this show's about. It's a two-way communication channel.
Absolutely.
That brings us to the man you hardly ever see, because he prefers to be behind the camera than in front of the camera. But he's a character. If you ever get a chance to meet Tim Smith in person at any of our events, you'll love him. He's funny, he's smart, he knows what he's doing. He did latch on to this whole running the camera thing, and he's a pro at it.
He is.
He is a real pro at it, and there's a lot of things we do on this show that would not be possible without having someone like Tim, who can get the shots and get the video that the guy who's trying to produce the show wants to get on the show. So it's not your day job. Maybe you can first off, tell us what you think about the show since we've been involved in this, your highlights, lowlights, what stands out to you, and then tell us what your real day job is.
All right, well, I mean, I have to tag on to Jeremy's. I really like the mobile solution stuff and watching those guys with router techniques and stuff like that. I could sit there and watch those videos all day long. In fact, during that show, while they were brought up big on the screen and we were small, I snuck around the other side so I could get to the computer monitor back here, and I was like, what was the model number on that printer or that router?
He's not lying. There was a time I'm standing here and Tim walks off and I just keep going. I'm like, I'm losing my camera guy. I guess I'm going to have to stay focused on this camera and ask for nothing else, because he's gone.
Yeah, I had two routers. They showed up the next day. I was like overnight, get them here, because I wanted to try those techniques like immediately when I got into the shop the next day. I was all about it. But yeah, I mean, I really like, a lot of the guests that we have on are a lot of fun, and a lot of people that I haven't necessarily heard of in the industry, but now that I've see a lot more of the stuff, it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of learning. It seems like every Tuesday night I end up learning a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't realize I was going to, and get to take it home with me. And so it's been a lot of fun. I have zero complaints. It's been a lot of fun working with everybody.
So when you're not here doing the camera job every Tuesday, well, not just Tuesday night, there are other things that we get involved with on video that Tim gets struck into all the time, but I think it might be an overlooked thing that you do here to most people in the company, but it's definitely not overlooked by the people out there, because when they see a great looking demo vehicle or a fantastic sounding demo vehicle or any of the projects, whether it's on the SEMA show floor or any of the other Miami Boat Show or things like that, tell us what you and your team do on a daily basis here.
Well, actually, just earlier this year, my former boss had retired and moved to Florida, and so I became the supervisor of our installation and design team. So any of our demo vehicles that you see rolling from here on out will be myself and Josh Fletcher and Chase Alexander. We are the three-man tripod back there that are building our demo cars and show vehicles and events displays. We help a lot with Jeremy's events displays for SEMA, CES, any other, Miami Boat Show. It doesn't matter what it is. We're kind of a jack of all trades. We do a little bit of everything back there, from display or stuff for the museum, but mainly building the demo vehicles. And we've actually got a couple of pretty exciting builds coming forward this next year that I can't wait to let you guys in on. I think it's going to be you guys are going to dig these a lot.
I don't know if it was the last show or the show before.
Leave some of the cats in the bag.
I did. He always, even if you don't hear him, he's holding up a sign behind the camera that says, "Leave some cats in the bag."
Yes. The bag is getting light.
Well, fortunately, we got guys in R&D who are continually refilling the bag. Because,
yes.
One of the cool things, there are some cool demo vehicles coming, and I want to tell you guys about the one so bad, but Tim told me no, and I agree with him. But at some point, we'll get Tim on, and we'll get some behind-the-scenes footage. You guys are going to be blown away, I think, with what he and the team are going to be working on. And speaking of R&D putting goodies in the bag, yeah, it's been a tough year. There's a lot of products that are just late getting here. There's a lot of products you don't even know about yet that were supposed to be first quarter this year, and the whole global response to this pandemic has just made things difficult. So there are going to be shows coming up. I think we'll have one soon. By soon, January maybe? February?
Hope so.
I'm hoping so too, where we're actually going to have an unmasking of products that you guys haven't seen yet. So you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at some new products that are coming, probably 30 to 60 days in advance before it actually lands here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And I'm excited for that. I mean, I get excited about product because I'm a product guy too, and so I'm excited for that as well. So Tim's a guy that makes it look pretty. He makes it sound good. So if you ever, he is, if you remember the show, you're actually on here with your truck, and it's the
94 Silverado.
The 94 Silverado. Tim is into lowered trucks. He likes that look, he likes that style, he likes those shows, and Tim will go to a lot of shows even on his own, just because that's where he wants to be, and of course he'll represent the company while he's there because he's obviously a kicker too. But Tim lives the lifestyle, and I think it was really cool having you on that show where we did the behind the scenes and showed the vehicles. It was the first time I'd actually sat in your vehicle and listened to it, and it sounded amazing.
Well, it's the low-hanging fruit for me to pick that as my favorite show of the year is when I got, we got my truck in I was nah. But no, that was fun too. I enjoy all aspects of it. I love the fact that something that I want to do on my time after work can help also during my time at work. So it's like, when we go to shows like, LST or Slamology, there's a lot of custom show vehicles, and so it just makes sense. It's like, well, we'll take the truck too, because it covers everything. It's got the audio, and it has all, suspension, paint and body, and all that stuff. So that's what everybody wants to look at. So I don't know, I enjoy the heck out of it. I mean, it's great to kill two birds with one stone like that.
It is, and when I say these guys build vehicles, sometimes they'll just take a brand new car and they'll do whatever they need to do to it and put kicker gear in it and make it a demo vehicle. But if you are ever here at Kicker, whether you come for a tour of the front museum or you get to come here live on the Unmasked live show, I got to give a shout out. There is is that a 51 Studebaker?
50.
A 50. It's a 50 Studebaker Champion, and these guys drug this thing out of a field somewhere over in Missouri.
I believe it's Missouri, yeah.
And they brought it back, and this has been a few years back. But when I say they built this car, I am not exaggerating that he was on the team that did it. Is they pulled the chassis out from underneath the car, threw it in the trash can, and started from scratch. They literally built a chassis here, wired harness, everything. So when I say they built the car, they did a whole lot of work here, and I'm really proud of what these guys accomplished here in the back. It's a fantastic build. If you're ever at the facility, you got to check it out because I think it's, to me, it's kind of like the crown jewel of what we got displayed in the museum, and you were on that team, so
Oh, thank you.
I got to give you props for that. So he does fantastic work. That's his day job, is trying to keep himself and those guys focused on those tasks. And so anything else to add there at the end?
No, I think that about covers it.
Okay. Well, that brings it to me, and I'm gonna be short and sweet, believe it or not.
Right.
I am. 90 seconds, promise. So, two things for me. The shows to me,
I'll take that.
and I'm already out. So, the thing for me on this is I agree with everything that everyone here has said. I could pick out shows and demos and things that we've done and go, yeah, those are great and those are fantastic. And that's what we did in the show, and that's the content we're bringing to you guys. But for me, two things. First one is we collectively, including myself, have had an opportunity to get more entrenched into the 12-volt community that exists out there in the, and I want to say not just Facebook, but YouTube really seems to be where there are tons of channels that I have been following for years and more that I've added that mix of guys who are really into audio, whether it's car, whether it's home. And so getting to meet those people and build a relationship with those people to me has been a highlight moment for me. Robert Hi-Fi Vega, who's going to be here tonight. You've got Old School Stereo, Williston Audio Labs, Big D, Derek, Steve Mead from SMD. I had a chance to meet him at SEMA and stuff. And I could go on and on and on down this list, but this show has opened us up as a company and as individuals to build more relationships within the community. And I'm honored for each and every one of you that I've had a chance to meet. And I'm hoping once we get this travel ban out of the way next year, that I'll get to see more of you out in the field live and in person at shows, because there's nothing I enjoy more than enjoying a great meal, having a great drink on the company's money with some great people. And he loves putting it on his budget, so why not? so that's the thing I want to say. That's my first of two things I want to say, is I really feel that how we've opened up to the community and what we've been able to learn from you and the relationships to me are important. The second one is, people joke about this, but it's the truth. Family is not always blood. You can have family that's blood and you don't even hardly know them. They may move away. You may not have had a good relationship or things like that. These people sitting here, they've become my family. And
Back at you, Kip.
to me, that's important. And so I've got a work family that I feel really tight with, and I know that we've got each other's backs. And it's not just for the UnMasked show, but it's work in general. And I love these people sitting here, and I mean that sincerely.
Love you back.
So,
man.
yeah. So with that said, I got nothing else to add. Ernie?
Here's to 2022.
Here's to 2022. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun ride.
So much for 30-minute production meetings.
Yeah.
These have turned into. We're going to put a cutoff, like
Pick something
hour and a half.
or else.
Yeah.
Something I didn't mention earlier, but one of the biggest things for me also with the show is over the past year, since I am on social media enough to be able to see comments that are specifically about kicker comments, and the way things have turned around, that I feel like this team here is the one that's turned those comments around towards us.
I agree.
People have seen, we have been able to show people what kicker really is, and at least just opened up their minds to figure it out for themselves.
Exactly.
At least give us a chance.
Exactly. It's we are. I mean, are we a big company? Yeah, we're a pretty big company. But the thing is, if the people have been blessed and fortunate enough to come here and spend time with us, after they walk away, they walk away knowing that we're a big company, but it's just a bunch of hometown folks just trying to do their best every day. And at the root of it all, that's it. Do we make mistakes? Every day. Yep. Are there products that have issues sometimes? Yep. Built by man, broke by man. Those things are going to happen all the time. But as I've jokingly said, it's not if a problem's going to happen that defines you. It's how you handle the problem is what defines you. And the thing I'll say about this company is we are empowered from the top down to treat people the right way and handle problems to get things corrected. That is an overarching umbrella philosophy, I think, that applies to everything that happens in this company.
Yeah, but honestly, a bigger thanks needs to go out to you guys for that, because I constantly see, if someone is still doesn't really know, about kicker and comes in and has a negative comment, man, you guys are quick about it and kind of steer them in the right way. And I appreciate that big time.
There's a joke, and I'm going to get it wrong, but it's kind of a joke that says, you don't even know me. How can you not like me? Spend 30 minutes, get to like me, and find a real good reason to not like me.
Yeah.
I mean, please find a good one.
Yep.
And I think that's this show is fun. I'm honored that the from management top down, from Steve Irby down, they understand how important this show is for us as a company. They understand that the interaction we have with all of you in the community is important. And as Ernie and I and even JW have joked with Mr. Irby, hey, the check cashed, right? So we're going to keep working in the space.
Squatters.
We're squatters.
Until they want this meeting room back.
Yeah, till they want this meeting room back. So thanks to Steve and everyone for allowing us to do this. I think this has been for me a crowning achievement that we've pulled together out of this last year. That in a lot of other aspects, I jokingly call it's a dumpster fire. But this is.
Never know what's going to happen.
Well, it depends. Sometimes it's a dumpster fire. You never know what's going to happen. So I got nothing else to add. You got anything to add, Ernie?
Oh, man.
JW? Sandy?
No, probably good.
We'll try to get Sandy on the show more often because we know, she's the prettiest of all of us,
That's a fact.
I've got a face built for radio, but I'm on TV anyway. So, Tim, you got anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Bill?
I think we're ready to roll.
Okay, we had a lot of fun earlier this afternoon, and we're talking now, so we're talking about future, past, and future at the same time. So I feel like I'm in a funky episode of Back to the Future.
Because they would have already seen what
Yeah.
you're about to talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe, hopefully.
Maybe they
Well,
did.
hopefully.
Well, they probably
if
did.
not, you should.
Yeah. So
Well, they might
This
have,
guy-
but then they might be just getting ready to see it.
You never
this might
know.
be their first.
It just depends on how
Because
Ernie
that's
puts it
coming up
together.
next.
That's next.
After this.
We're showing them next, but it already aired earlier.
If any of my family's watching, they'll get a laugh out of this. We're not
Yeah.
doing it to now. We're doing it to later. But that was to yesterday.
Right.
So
We got Bill dressed up though, just wasn't in a frog suit, right?
To my family, I must say I'm deeply, deeply sorry for what you're about to see. And,
if you have rose-colored glasses, I advise you put them on now for the rest of the segment. But all that said, we just shot it. It's going to air on the 24th, December 24th. Bill's going to take it to social, correct?
Right.
So it's not going to.
yes.
It already did.
It already did.
Already happened.
It already
Yeah,
did.
no, but the to now to later thing, we're already
Right,
missed
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
it was actually pretty fun.
So this next thing that you're about
You
to
see
see,
it? I thought it was great. You see it?
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a hoot, Clark. It already aired on the 24th. If you missed it, now's your chance to get it because Ernie's going to back it up to the end of this, and it is a special tribute from Steve Irby. And I'm not going to say anything else. He has some special guests with him, and they're giving a shout out. So it's already. This is beyond Christmas. This is the 28th, so Christmas already happened. So if you haven't already seen this is post-Christmas, but we actually showed it pre-Christmas. But we're not here because we're home enjoying Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah. I'm watching football right now.
What he said.
There's a planet where all this makes sense. But this next thing, we had fun doing it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I know we've already talked about Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad. This is a post-Christmas show, so the thing I can say best of all is, man, happy New Year. Looking forward to what we're going to do with you next year, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
See everyone.
New Year, everybody.
And that's
It's a wrap.
a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Okay.
Cut it.
Cut the fit, paint the match.
Hello, Santa.
Hey, elf. How
Hey,
you?
Santa,
Hey, wait a
Santa.
minute. You're not an elf.
Well,
You're Elvis.
I'm Elvis.
Elvis. Son, you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable again.
I know, but I really do like the king.
Well, what are we going to do? We're going to keep him
Sure, Santa. You know, for the season.
for the season. Okay.
I've always wanted to perform on stage, so
Okay, well-
give me my break. Give me my big break.
Okay. Here you go. Now, you elves know that we've had a rough year. I think everybody knows that, right?
Sure do.
Back in the toy shop, we haven't had the tools we need. We haven't had the supplies we need. We couldn't get those little tiny nails that we needed. Remember that?
I do.
Okay. And on those Etch-a-Sketches, those kids are waiting on those, but we couldn't get that plastic housing that went on the top of them. You know that. I mean, and everybody's been very disappointed. It's been a rough year. And, the missus got a little sick back there. and we just, had our troubles, but we're going to be merry, because that's who we are. I mean, we're a merry bunch, aren't we? We got some merry, and they've got the bells going and everything. So we're going to sing a merry song for y'all, and it's the 12 Days of Christmas. And let's be merry now, okay? So let's give us a note. Start on there, Elf.
La 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 la.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, well, let's get going. On the 12 days of Christmas, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
A case of COVID and a quarantine.
Oh, no. Elf, I mean, we want this to be merry. I mean, we want it to be kind of unreal, It needs to be a happy song. Okay.
I'll do better.
Okay, Elvis.
Pick me out. I'll do better.
Let's try it again. Let's go number 2. Okay, on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
2 mask mandates and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
Oh my gosh, it's not getting any better. Okay, let's see what happens. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
It has a certain ring to it, I guess. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
5 ships at sea. 4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
Getting better. On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea. 4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea.
Cut, Elvis.
You're good at that.
He's just showing off. 4
Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea.
Cut.
4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
And on the eighth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
8 chip shortages, 7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea.
Much better.
4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the ninth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
9 vaccines, 8 chip shortages, 7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea. Oh, boy. 4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the ninth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
9 vaccines, 8 chip shortages, 7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea.
Get it off, Elvis.
4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
Oh, let's kick it up a notch. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
10 price increases, 9 vaccines, 8 chip shortages, 7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea. 4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
11 new variants, 10 price increases, 9 vaccines, 8 chip shortages, 7 help wanted, 6 late deliveries, 5 ships at sea.
can leave the building if you don't shut up.
4 Zoom meetings, 3 out of stocks, 2 mask mandates, and a case of COVID with a quarantine.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
1207 X's, and that's all I want beneath my tree.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Did we skip 11 or did we get it that time? No, we did.
I think we doubled up on
6 and 9.
6 and 9.
And we missed 11. No, we did not miss 11. Oh, we didn't? Okay.
Sorry, taking confidence.
That's okay.
We can fix it.
What do you think, Ernie?